This is the one that is used to steam the soil for, especially for nursery. So after you mix, okay, over there, okay, that's the media, the topsoil, and then we have the sawdust. Okay, and in the bags there's chicken manure in there. So we have those three components, okay, that is mixed together. Okay, so after you mix them, okay, the next process is you do straining. Okay, you strain to remove some particles like stones or maybe sticks. Okay, big particles. Okay, you remove them, and then after that you come to this process of sterilization. Okay, this drum is a simple technique where many of our farmers can use at home. Okay, to sterilize the soil. Okay, so the purpose of sterilizing is simply to remove seeds that can grow, okay, in your nursery media. And two is that you need to destroy harmful organisms or bacteria that is in the soil media that you're gonna use in your nursery. Okay, so that is the purpose of you sterilizing. Okay, there are some harmful bacteria that might be in the soil that you're gonna be using in your nursery. So you need to sterilize, you need to steam. Okay, so to remove them. Okay, so the process of sterilization is, okay, you have okay, there should be a flat iron sheet. Okay, there's a flat iron sheet there. Okay, you place that flat iron sheet here. Okay, but below the bottom of the drum, okay, you should have a space, okay, for water. Okay, and then after you fill that water, you put in the flat iron sheet, and then you fill your media that is mixed. Okay, and then you close it up. Okay, you cover it maybe with some banana leaf. Okay, and then you cover it, and then you make fire. Okay, so how do you tell that the media is ready? Okay, one simple way we encourage our farmers, or we tell our students and farmers, is that by you put in a piece of maybe a cow on top of the media. Okay, so after some rounds of you applying heat, okay, the water boils and the steam passes through the flat iron sheet, okay, with holes in it. Okay, so it goes through the media and then up to the top. Okay, so when you check the cow, for example, the cow, if it's cooked, then that means, okay, whole part of the media that is within the drum is already ready for nursery. So that means it's cooked. So you have destroyed some bacteria and then some seeds or some plants that will grow and compete with your nursery seedlings. Okay, so that's the media process. Okay, after that now, okay, at least you leave it for some time to cool down. Okay, and then you can fill your trays. Okay, your seedling trays, and then you can line them in your. Okay, you can. We have the plastic trays that is used, okay, by many farmers. Okay, but this is the one that is you find them in many of the maybe agriculture hardwares or shops. Okay, these are plastic standard plastic trays. Okay, and then apart from that, you can also use chicken trays or maybe ice block cups. Okay, some farmers are using ice block cups, or maybe you can develop your own wooden boxes. Okay, but most important thing when you're developing wooden boxes or any material that you want to use as your tray to hold your media. Okay, you need to have holes created. Okay, at the bottom of those materials. Okay, so that any excess water, okay, must drain out. Okay, so after you fill in all your trays with media, okay, you can line them on your tray benches in your nursery. Okay, tray benches. Okay, and then the next one is holing. Okay, this is a board that is called a dibble board. Okay, and that is used with this standard plastic trays. Okay, so you simply place it after media is filled. You place it on the media, and then you use okay, what they call a dibble stick. Okay, and then you just create holes on that. Okay, after holing, okay, now you can show your seeds. Okay, so the process of covering the seed is quite hectic. Okay, but a simple way of you covering the seeds after sowing is that you use water. Okay, so you can fill a watering can and then you just come after all the seeds are sown. Okay, you just lift the watering can and you just spray it, okay, on top of the media, okay, on the trays. Okay, and when the water splash is done on the surface of the soil, it moves, okay, the piece or bit of the soil to cover the seeds. Okay, so this is the simplest way of you covering the soils. Okay, so in the nursery, seedlings, especially with introduce the vegetables like pak choy, saladia, or round cabbages. Okay, it takes almost 3 days, okay, or 4 days, and then you see germination is okay. Okay, so after 3 days or 4 days germination, it will remain in the nursery for at least 3 weeks. Okay, so you monitor them, make sure that nursery management practices are applied, like watering, continuous watering, pest and disease management, tray spacing. So those are some of the management practices that you need to apply. Okay, so they remain in the nursery for at least 3 weeks. Okay, and then after 3 weeks now, okay, you put them out to the hardening bench, which you cover later on. Okay, but for saladia, pak choy, cabbages, it takes them 3 days after sowing, 3 to 4 days after sowing, and they will germinate. Okay, germination takes place. Okay, for crops like tomato, capsicum, it takes almost 6 to 7 days before germination. So you must understand the period of germination for each crop. Okay, so that's that. After the nursery, okay, after 3 weeks, okay, you go to the hardening bench. Okay, what you can see here, okay, they are almost 4 weeks old seedlings, okay, round cabbage seedlings. Okay, using the standard plastic trays. Okay, so these are hardened seedlings. So that means after 3 weeks from the nursery, okay, we put them out on the hardening bench. The purpose of hardening bench is that you climatize. Okay, you teach that particular seedling or crop to adapt to the outside environment. Okay, so that means you let the seedling outside to adapt to the heat of the sun and the rain and the wind. Okay, the outside environment. Okay, so at least a week. Okay, so after hardening them, okay, now they are strong, okay, and they can adapt to the environment, and then you can do transplanting outside on your plots. Okay, so that is the process. It's always important that you must harden your seedlings, okay, before you transplant. Okay, so when you transplant them out into the plot, okay, they have adapted themselves to the outside environment, so they will still adapt when they are out in the open field plot. Okay, so that's why it's always important that hardening is applied. Okay, and that's the last process of the nursery. Okay, sometimes many farmers, okay, they when they put them out to the hardening bench, okay, they just forget all about it. Okay, but these are young seedlings. Okay, just like the little child, okay, that is crawling. Okay, the mother and the father must hold the hands of the little child to, okay, support her to walk before they let go. Okay, it's just like the seedlings. You need to be there with the seedlings at the hardening stage also. Okay, so maybe the sun is very hot. Okay, they might go down. They might wilt down. That means they need water. So you need to come and apply water, give them water. Okay, so you are there with them. Okay, training them. Okay, to adapt on the outside environment. Okay, so after that, at least a week, and then you can plant out. Okay, so when you plant out, you see that your seedlings will still survive. Okay. Sometimes some farmers they plant out straight from the nursery. Okay, they don't do hardening, they plant out. Okay, in that case, you must make sure that you apply shade. Okay, you must provide shade for those plants because they are not adapted or they are not acclimatized to the outside environment. Okay, so sometimes when you don't harden your seedlings, one effect is that when you plant out straight, okay, what they call transplanting shock. Okay, so the plant will get shocked. Okay, sometimes in the process the plant dies. Okay, or the plant does not grow. Okay, because it has gone through the process called transplanting shock. Okay, because it's put out to a new environment. Okay, from the nursery environment straight to the field environment. Okay, it has not been trained, okay, to adapt to the field environment, okay, before planting it out. but from the nursery straight to the field. So that's why it goes to transplanting shocks. Okay, so that's where a lot of farmers lost their plants, or they make losses. Okay, so that's why it's always important that okay, you need to harden. Okay, you acclimatize them first. Okay, before you plant them out. Okay, so those are for vegetables, but some crops like straight direct planting crops like beans or maybe corn, there's no need for you to nest them. Okay, you just have to plant them straight. Okay, so that is just a short process, okay, of media preparation and the nursery, okay, and to the hardening before you transplant. Okay, it's a very important process. Many farmers, okay, they are still learning. Okay, they are still trying their best to really do it right. Okay. There are a lot of farmers out there, but one thing is that you need to do it correctly. Okay, because when you have your 100% healthy seedlings, okay, in your nursery and they come out to the hardening bench, you know that you have 100% okay plantings, okay, and all the way to harvesting. Okay, because you have developed very healthy seedlings from the nursery. Okay, so that means you have healthy plants in the field. Okay. If you don't prepare your media well, you don't necessarily do your nursery very well, that means you still have losses when you plant out because you haven't raised the healthy seedlings. Okay, so it's very important. Okay, very important for many of our farmers to understand, okay, the process of a nursery. Okay, we know that many farmers are now going into the vegetable production, and there is a very high demand with the with production of vegetables and the vegetable industry. Okay, it's increasing. Okay, but one thing is that you need to do it well at the first start. Okay, when you do it well, you get what you want to get. If you don't do it well at the necessary part of it, then you will not get it well out in the field. Okay, so this is just a brief explanation of the process, okay, from media preparation to nursery, hoeing, and then coming out to hardening, okay, and importance of you hardening your seedlings. Thank you for listening.